What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Manny77AA bringing another Modern Warfare 3 commentary, and this time we're gonna play some team deathmatch on the new map Foundation. Well, it's not new anymore, but you know what I'm saying, right? Alright, so right off the bat I get killed by a little camper laying down somewhere. I didn't even know he was there. So I'm using the Scar L again with that sexy red camo on it. I'm using the bouncing betties for a change here, so let's see if it works out for me. So I mentioned in my past videos that I am from New York City, so I want to talk about a little bit about New York City, the city of New York. And I'm not talking about upstate New York or, you know, the New York countryside. I'm talking about the city of New York. I'm talking about Manhattan. I'm talking about downtown Manhattan, midtown Manhattan, uptown Manhattan. I consider that the city. Anything else is the country to me. I'm gonna piss off a lot of people by saying that, but I don't care. But yeah, man, living in New York my whole life, you know, is a really good experience because, like, you know, if you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere, basically, like Frank Sinatra says. So, I mean, New York City is New York City, and I ask people that say that travel all the time, like, have you been to New York? They say no. I'm like, you haven't been anywhere then. I'm sorry, but if you haven't visited New York, you haven't visited anywhere. You haven't seen anything. New York is a city on its own, you know. It's kind of, I can't even explain it really. It's New York City. I mean, you have everything there. Everything is in New York City. New York City is the capital of the world. Everything happens in New York City. Wall Street, stock market, money moves. You know, New York City moves money. You have the biggest sports franchise in the world, the New York Yankees. The most expensive sports franchise in the world being the New York Yankees. You got the New York Jets, New York Giants, whole bunch of other sports teams. You have just the whole financial center of the world is New York City. So, you know, me growing up in New York City, you know, big dreams everywhere. I went to school to New York. New York schools are different from Florida schools. A lot different. I mean, a lot different. You know, I went to school there for a couple of years before I moved to Florida. Actually, I went there till my sophomore year. I completed my sophomore year and did my junior and senior year here, and let me tell you, the difference is huge. Man, I love New York City, period. I don't even know what to talk about New York City. I just love New York City. I would move there in a heartbeat, but right now everything is like super expensive in New York. You're talking about one-bedroom apartment paying almost $2,000 a month. I can get a fucking 4-bedroom house and pay less than that here in Florida. So it's gonna be a while till I move back to New York, and it's either New York City or Miami for me. I'm a city boy. I'm gonna still be a city boy, so it's either that. But yeah, man, New York is the place to be. You're a party animal, New York City. It doesn't sleep. I mean, it says it, city that doesn't sleep. New York club scene is always popping. There's always something going on. There's always somebody visiting New York, you know, some celebrities, some artists, anything is always New York City. I mean, you know, Los Angeles is big, LA is big, but nothing compares to the New York City, really. Like, honestly, nothing. So a little about the gameplay. I'm using this Fad here because I'm running low on ammo on my Scar. I've never used this gun. I've never used it, so this is like a new experience for me. I don't know what to say about this gun. It's fun, you know, it's kind of a good fire rate gun, so maybe I'll give it a try some other time. You know, the recoil's not that bad, so we'll give it a try. But yeah, back to New York City. You know, I lived in New York City like for, yeah, basically my whole life, and I do miss it. I miss it every time. I wish I could go back more often than I can, but you know, you can't. So yeah, that's basically it, man. New York City is like the best city in the world. I know this commentary is not making any sense, but I just felt like talking about New York for some reason. Like, you know, New York came to my mind and I felt like talking about it. Like, you know, it's just New York City. I grew up in uptown Manhattan, 173rd Street, Fort Washington, between Fort Washington and Haven Avenue. So Washington Heights was where I grew up. That's where I went to school. I went to school PS 173. I played baseball in New York City. That's where I got my start at. You know, man, when you go downtown and all you see is skyscrapers around you, that's a pretty good feeling. I got the the AC 130, but I skipped it. I got like 1 kill out of it, and that was like the last shot, so it wasn't even worth putting it up. But yeah, like I was saying, once you see all those skyscrapers around you, you feel like so small, and it's a good feeling, man. It's a really good feeling. I wish I could just live that every single day, but you know, one day, hopefully, I'll move up to New York City. I'll get to live the New York dream all the time, so hopefully, you know, that happens pretty soon here. But in the meantime, I'll live in Florida. I'll be bored in Florida. I'll make more videos for you guys. See, if I was living in New York City, this wouldn't be happening that much, so I'm lucky, right? But you guys, quick commentary. I didn't know what the hell I was talking about, so let me know what you guys think. I guess I'll see you guys later. You guys take care. Later.